Throughout my whole fitness journey, which started when I was about 12, I was always into exercise and trying to be stronger and playing different sports. As actually earlier than 12. My body has changed, and I've always paid attention to the way that I ate, and I always tried to make my diet the most beneficial, as beneficially I tried to make my diet as beneficial as possible to where I was at that age, whether it was 12 or whether it was 22. Now, of course, I got more serious about it as I got into, around 16, 17, 18, which is where I really started to focus on lifting weights, making sure that I was getting the right amount of protein. And I would try everything. I tried, uh, this is back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, cod liver oil, bee pollen, anything that I thought might be good for me, I would try it. But my body has changed. I needed a lot more carbs, and I made a lot of mistakes training people as I started off as a young trainer in my early 20s and mid 20s. I made a lot of mistakes with people who are my age now. I'm 60 and I'm pretty fit. I mean, I think for a 60-year-old, um, it could be better, but it's pretty fit for a 60-year-old. And my body composition's pretty decent. I'm probably about 15%, and that's really really lean. I know, but I, I'm guessing. The calipers say I'm lower, but I don't really believe it. I think I'm higher than that. So I've had to change my diet, and I've had to stay on top of how my body responds as I've gotten older. When I was younger, I was eating every 2 hours, and I was taking a lot of supplements, and I was eating a lot of carbs and a lot of protein and protein shakes and all that stuff, trying to get my protein up, always trying to get my calories up. Well, it's very different now. My macros are completely different. My carbs, my protein, and my fat are way different than when I was 22 in college playing football. Had to eat 6,000 calories just to maintain my weight. And back then the idea was to, get bigger, get stronger. Now my calories are come in around 2,000, and that's fine for me. I have to emphasize the protein more because if you don't focus on the protein, you're not going to get as much as you think. When I was eating 6,000 calories, it was easy to get enough of everything and a little extra because 6,000 calories is a lot. When I started to get older, I started to notice that I needed to cut back on the carbs because I'm always weighing myself, doing skin fold measurements to see where my body fat is. And it doesn't really matter what it is if you're using skin fold calipers, because I can see if that measurement's going up or down. If it's going down, it's good. If it's going up, it's not good. And you can take, different skin folds, arm, chest, abs, thighs. You want it to be going down or at least maintaining. So if I'm gaining weight and the skin fold is staying the same, that means I'm putting muscle on. And if the scale is the same and the skin fold is going down, that's a good thing too. That means I'm burning body fat. So I'm always calculating and evaluating my body and thinking about what I'm eating. What I'm eating now is still about the same amount of protein, maybe quite not as much protein, but what's way down is the carbs. And I gave a lot of people bad advice when I was a younger coach slash personal trainer because I was talking to them about their bodies and what to do through the lens of my body and my age and my diet. And everyone's different, especially at different ages, because now I can't eat the way I ate when I was 22. If I did, I'd probably be a diabetic in a week because my body can't handle the carbs. And there's a lot of fitness influencers out there, a lot of smart people, and I see them doing it. Oh, carbs aren't good for some people. Now, I exercise a lot, so I can get away with more carbs than some people, but I can't emphasize enough. You guys hear me say this all the time. Everyone's different. You got to find the right macros for you. And I would start with protein. Once you get the protein right, then I would try to get the carbohydrates right. What is that? I almost always, I'm a very strict eater. My net carbs are under 50 pretty much every day. Now, sometimes I will intentionally go eat 250 grams of carbohydrates. I'll go eat sushi, or I'll eat some rice, or I'll eat mashed potatoes, starches. I'm doing that on purpose because whether it's with your diet or your workout program, you want to mix it up. You want to, if it's your workout program, you want to mix up sets and reps. You want to change your rest period between sets. You want to change your rest period as far as your days. Change your workout all the time. But I also have to change my diet. I have to let my body adjust. And sometimes I can tell when I need carbs, because sometimes I do. I can tell in my workouts, I start to feel a little sluggish. And I know it's time to, do a carb load for 2 or 3 days. But as I'm doing this, and even when I'm not carb loading, I'm always checking my glucose. The reason I'm always checking my glucose levels with 2 or 3 different monitors to average it out is to see how my body is responding to what I do. And my glucose levels will change with exercise. It'll change in the morning. How is it changing when I eat certain foods an hour after I eat those foods? What is my glucose 3 hours after I ate? What did I eat 3 hours ago? So I'll take notes a lot of times. And even exercise or going for a walk will change my glucose. Exercise almost always makes my glucose go up. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a personal. I'm not anything anymore. I own health clubs, but um, I'm I can train myself, but I'm probably not that great of a trainer right now. I have great personal trainers. We have great personal trainers in all of our clubs that I'm learning from all the time, but I know my body. I know what foods are best. I know when to change those foods. So if you guys really want to be healthy, if you really want to change your shape or your body composition, you have to get to know your body. And the food that you eat is probably the most important. The exercise is important too. But if your diet doesn't go along with your exercise and you're just eating whatever you want, or you're eating bad foods, the exercise isn't going to do a lot. A messed up diet will mess you up a lot more than no exercise. I'm not saying don't exercise, but if you could only do one, eat a perfect diet or exercise, I would go for the perfect diet. You're going to be healthier. Is that ideal? No, because exercise is huge. When you exercise, you're moving your body. You need to keep as much lean body mass as you can as you age. It's really important. The more muscle you can maintain as you get older, or even maybe put some on, the faster your metabolism is going to go. The faster your metabolism goes, the more calories you're burning, the better your body is working. And so I focus on my diet, and I focus on exercise, and I focus on my hormones. My hormones have to be right. Exercise will help for men and women. I don't have thyroid issues, but for men and women, you need to make sure that your testosterone is right. Yeah, I said women too, because women will have the same symptoms of low testosterone as men will have. So the brain fog, the low libido, it's the same. And so you want to make sure that your testosterone is in the right range, especially if you're older, because low testosterone is it's a big risk factor for heart disease. It's not healthy. It's dangerous if you have extremely low testosterone. That's one of the first things that you need to get fixed. Now, of course, this all goes along with the diet and with exercise, and it all works together. And when you do it all, you're going to have the best results. So I'll give you an idea of what I eat in the morning. So I'll get up in the morning and I'll wait. I don't eat right away. And I vary this also. Sometimes I eat early. Sometimes I eat at 7:30. Sometimes I wait till 11 o'clock. I'm changing things up with my body, not only with my workout and when I exercise, how long I exercise, how many sets, how many reps, and all those things. When I eat, I also change it up. It's rare for me to eat past 6 o'clock, but sometimes I stop eating. Like today, I stopped eating at about 3:30, and I can do that. And so maybe I eat at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not going to do it the same. I'm not going to eat at the exact same times every day. I change that up. That keeps my body guessing. It keeps my body sharp, and I believe it keeps me healthier. But I'm going to give you an ideal first meal of the day for me. I will use protein powder, and that I make sure that protein powder, whatever kind of protein powder I'm using, whey protein is excellent because it has all the essential amino acids in a very good proportion. It has high leucine. But there's some plant-based proteins out there that are very, very good too, that have excellent um, amino acid profiles. Now, for them to have all those amino acids in the right proportion and ratio with the branched chain aminos and leucine, isoleucine, and valine, and have enough leucine, that takes a lot of plants. So these protein powders are going to be more expensive. If you're using a plant-based protein powder, it's going to be more expensive if you get a good one. I like the plant-based protein powders, but it has leucine 2-to-1 over isoleucine and valine, which are the branched chain aminos, and it has all the other essential amino acids. It has a full amino acid profile. And so to me, it doesn't matter where the protein came from if it's got the amino acid profile that I want. So I will take a protein powder, and I will mix in the protein powder. I usually put about 12 ounces of organic almond milk. Sometimes I'll use macadamia nut milk, about 12 ounces. I put 5 grams of creatine monohydrate in that in that mixture. I'll take about 2 or 3 grams of leucine. I put leucine in there because I want to make sure I'm getting enough leucine. Leucine is like the trigger to activating all this protein that you're ingesting. So then I'll put the protein powder in. So I've got leucine, I've got creatine, 5 grams of creatine, about 3 grams of leucine. I also put 2 eggs in my protein shaker. And I shake them up with the protein, and that's going to give me, well, the 2 eggs are 12 grams of protein. The protein powder is about 22. So I've got 34 grams of protein just from the eggs and the protein shake, the protein powder. Plus, I spiked it with leucine. Leucine is a key ingredient for synthesizing protein. Now, the last thing I do with this is, well, first I'll I'll get a hot drink, tea or something, maybe coffee. And before I drink this concoction, I'll take about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. And it's a high quality olive oil. I want to make sure it's high quality. I take that with my fat soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. Let's see, that's four. A, D, E, K. Yeah, four fat soluble vitamins. And I take the olive oil, which is a high quality fat, with those. And there's a few other supplements I take, but that's the first thing I do. Hot drink, maybe tea, maybe coffee with some cream in it, with the olive oil. Now, everything in that protein shaker is very, very low carb. I'm getting a couple carbs from the 2 eggs, and I don't choose the protein powders that have carbs in them. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 grams of carbohydrates. A lot of times it's fiber. So that's the first meal of the day. And with the olive oil and everything, I'm at maybe 400 calories. And in those 400 calories, I'm getting 35 grams of protein, but I also mix amino acids. I take amino acids with that meal. And I'm thinking that the amino acids, which are essential amino acids, just like the amino acid profile that is on your protein powder, your whey protein or your whatever type of protein you're taking, could even be a animal-based protein. I take a scoop of amino acids, which is about 8 grams, but that's going to be equivalent to a lot more than 8 grams of protein. It's going to be more like equivalent to 25 grams of protein and no calories. So if you're older, use amino acids. I think that's one of the best tips I can give all of you because it's something that's helped me. Is it going to help you? Probably. Again, make sure you get a quality amino acid, but the amino acids have to be quality. You don't want junk in it, any bad sweeteners or any of that stuff. I like the essential amino acids. Get all the essential amino acids, which are the amino acids that your body can't make. But if you have all the essential amino acids, your body can make all the other amino acids. I don't know, there's about 22 of them, or I don't know, maybe there's more. But there's 9 essential, most experts agree there's 9 essential amino acids. Some say 8, I've even heard 10. But when you get all of those amino acids, the essential amino acids, your body can make all the other amino acids. So what's healthy about that is your body can now make the amino acids that it wants. It can make the amino acids that it needs. Your body knows what it needs. And when it's got all the tools there and all the material, it can build what it wants. It can build the enzymes, the muscle, whatever your body needs. So I'm always making sure that I have all the essential amino acids in my diet and in every meal. And I take a lot of amino acids. A lot of people think it's, they poo-poo it, but it's something I've done since I was 18, and it's always benefited me because the reality of it, it's like I'm increasing my protein without taking in any calories. It's just single molecules. The amino acids are in singular form. When you take a protein shake or you eat eggs or any type of protein, your body breaks down those amino acids into singular molecules. Now it's not an amino acid chain, it's singular amino acids. So with this first meal that I've talked about, I've got the protein, the powder, and I do like the plant-based that I take because it's got the full amino acid profile, but it also has other plant benefits. This is organic, and some of the calories are plant food based. A lot of without a lot of calories. It's like taking a green drink with my protein powder. So I'm getting the protein powder, which my body's going to break down into those amino acids, which are in the perfect formula. But then I have singular amino acids going in at the same time. And plus, I've got the eggs, which eggs are like a near perfect food. They have all the fat soluble vitamins in them, and they have the fat, also perfect fat. An egg is, in my opinion, about the most perfect food you can eat. It's got all of the fats, polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, and saturated fats in about one third, one third, one third. It's a perfect food. That'll help with the fats that are in that. It's got selenium in it. Eggs are amazing. And of course, I always eat the whole egg. The nutrients, all the good stuff, all the healthy stuff is in the yolk. And I'm not a doctor, but I've been doing this a long time and I know my body. I'm 60 years old. I'm on 0 medications. None. My blood pressure is probably 105 over, it's usually 105 over 65, somewhere in that range. But I attribute it to exercise and my diet. And I eat very strictly. My diet is strict. Every once in a while, sure, I'll go have pizza and beer, but I don't do that every day. That's a rare thing for me to eat pizza because, I mean, I eat it at home sometimes, but it's cauliflower crust. It's a healthy pizza, and it doesn't even really have very many carbs. And the cheese, for people like me, is not bad. Cheese is not good. Dairy is not good for some people, but everyone's different. I'm fine with dairy. And I'm fine with just about any food as long as the carbs aren't too high. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I think are beneficial to me now. And I want to encourage everybody, don't just go do things the way I do it or the way some fitness expert or some fitness influencer on social media tells you to do it, because you are not exactly like them. You Their way might work for you depending on your age, depending on your body composition, but you have to get it dialed in for yourself. You have to figure out exactly how many calories are best for you, exactly what your macros should be, and your exercise program. And remember, change up everything. Eat at different times of the day all the time. Don't always eat at the same. Don't always do the same workout program. Don't always take the same amount of rest. Don't always lift light. Don't always lift heavy. Mix it up. Mix up the combinations of how you group your muscles. And I think we've got some other stuff on this channel about workout splits. You can go check out those. We do a lot of stuff for people who are coming from being a beginner and they want to get to being an intermediate lifter. What kind of exercises do you do? What changes? How do you change your workout days, your workout split? The split is the different workouts that you do. If it's a 4-day split, that means 4 days. Now, you might have 2 different exercises that you do on those 4 days. One on Monday and Thursday, one on Tuesday and Friday. You might have 3 different workouts that you do on those 4 days. And then you'd rotate right into the next week. So those are all things that you want to be changing, and keep your body guessing. Check your glucose. See how your body responds to different foods. And sometimes my glucose will go up really nothing. If I don't eat any carbs, if I just get some fat and some protein, my glucose won't hardly budge. And that can be important as you get older, because a lot of people are pre-diabetic and they don't even know it. I think a lot of people are diabetic and they don't even know it. So you have to monitor this, and it's changing all the time. Your glucose will change so fast. You go get your blood work done, that's just a snapshot at 1 second where your glucose is. 10 minutes later, it could be completely different. Or 10 minutes before, it might have been completely different. There's a dawn effect, which a lot of times your glucose will spike in the morning, even when you haven't eaten anything, because your body's getting up and ready to go. So find out what your glucose is doing. It's a huge measure of what your overall health is. So I hope you guys like this. The channel, Vitality and Wellness, we do interviews with doctors, with personal trainers, with nutritionists, and tell us what topics that you want to hear about, because we're interviewing people all the time. We're in the gym a lot. We're in multiple gyms, and it's a blessing to be able to have multiple gyms and go into them and do different things and talk to different people. But we're in the gyms a lot doing some demonstrations, and we do have connections with a lot of staff members that are really, really good trainers and know how to train people of all ages. Trainers sometimes specialize in one thing over another. So it's important to know and who your trainer is and make sure that you can relate to them. But not most important is that they can relate to you. So I hope all this helps. Guys, we appreciate the support. We're trying to build this channel, Vitality and Wellness, and bring more things to you guys. So that's what our goal is to bring you more information, more opinions, because everyone has an opinion, especially these days on social media. Everyone has an opinion about fitness and health and what you should eat. And I've done videos where Soleil, which is salt, and people will they're trashing me saying, bro, don't drink that. You're going to die. That's salt. No, Himalayan sea salt is healthy. It has 84 minerals in it. It's one of the best things that you can put in your body. It's not going to hurt you. So there's a lot of junk out there, a lot of things that are just repeated about salt is one of them. Of course, you want a good, healthy salt. You eat butter, make sure it's a good, healthy butter. I drench all my food in butter. Maybe my calories are higher than I think, but that butter is healthy. And when I cook, that's what I cook in. I cook in butter. I go out to eat. I ask them, please cook my food in butter, all of it, and cook it in a lot of butter. Because most restaurants are cooking with canola oil. I'm sorry, canola oil, that's poison. Or soybean oil, maybe worse. Soybean oil is not good stuff. And these vegetable-based oils are not healthy. So do your own research. I always want to encourage people to do your own research and find out for yourself. See what you should be eating. Get opinions out there. I love YouTube, watching the different people and getting the different opinions, doctors and fitness influencers. I don't agree with all of them, but I get bits and pieces from most of them that I do agree with and I do appreciate. So do that too. You can't just listen to one person, and then you got to figure it out for you. What's best for you? Hope that helps everybody. Like and subscribe to Vitality and Wellness. Now, also, I wanted to mention we may be doing some vitamin bags in some of our clubs. We're really excited about that. We'll stay tuned for more information on that. Parkway Athletic Club has a YouTube channel. Fitness for 10 has a YouTube channel. Everything's kind of connected on my website, stevemain.com. So you can go to stevemain.com and you can find out more about me, find out more about my career. If you want to reach out to me or connect with me, you can do it there. Or you can just do what so many of you do, and that's just trash me right here in the comment section. It's kind of funny. Boy, you got to have thick skin to do this. I really get, well, I won't use any bad words. Let's just say I'm getting the tar beat out of me sometimes over things that I thought were common sense, like how to put a weight away, or don't do this or don't do that, that are just common things in a gym. So you can always trash me right there in the comment section too. I love it. So I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for listening.